In this video, we're going to learn how to create a basic HTML file. Now, first thing you want to do is find an HTML editor. And one of the best free ones is Notepad++. And it looks like something like this. Search for that. And here it is. And you go right to the download. And you can just choose the Notepad installer. And once it's finished downloading, you can open it and execute this exe, and it'll take you through an install process. And when it's installed, you should see, well, you might not see, you might have to go through all programs and find it, and maybe Notepad++ there, and open it up. Now, this Notepad++ is an HTML editor. It's also you can also edit programming languages with it, so it's quite versatile. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to save a new file, save as, and all files that are made for the internet or HTML files have the .html extension, which is somewhere around here. There's so many different possibilities here. It's probably easier just to hypertext markup language. There you go, HTML. Probably just easier to type in there, HTML. So I'm going to call this index.html. So usually your home page is called index.html. So I'm going to save this file now. And here we go, index.html, and you see my flashing cursor here. Now, any HTML files that are created will be visible inside your browser. So let's open up our browser, and I'm going to use Firefox for this one. So I'm just going to start it up. And what I've done is kind of minimize the two screens here. So I've set it up so I can just see my output from my file that I create in my browser here. So below is my browser. I kind of resized it so that it's covering half the page. The bottom half and the top half, I've got Notepad++ going here. So when I create my code here, I can see the output down here. So whenever you start a HTML file, you have to start with the HTML tags. So everything in between these two tags is going to be our HTML file. And you can see this is the start tag, and this is the closing tag. And the closing tag has kind of this backslash here. Now everything, as I was saying, everything inside these HTML tags is your HTML code. Now the most important part is the body, and the body also has an opening and a closing tag as well. So this is your start tag, opening body, and closing body. And everything that appears in the body will appear in your will be visible on your web page here. So I'm going to type something in here just to show that this is my website. Now this will be visible on my web page, so I have to actually go and open up that file. So I'll open up this file inside my Firefox browser, open, and there's that index file, open, and here you can see the output. This is my website. Okay, so everything inside you type inside the body is going to be visible on the web page. Also in your HTML document, you'll find a set of head tags. Now everything inside the head tags will not be visible on your web page. So for example, the title. So here's a set of title tags, my start tag and my finish tag. Now here I can put the title of my web page. So maybe Julian's biography. And that's the title of my web page, and I save this, and if I go and refresh, you will see that there is no Julian's biography here, just this is my website, what appears in between the body tag here. So, but you will see the information, the title information, you will see it on the tab here. Okay, so all the information in between these head tags will not appear on the web page, but will appear on the tab or in the source code. And what I mean by that is you can also have information, metadata in here. And metadata is basically, it's information about data or information about the content of your website, basically. So, and this looks like something like this. It has a meta tag, and the meta tag is, it doesn't come in pairs like we have a title start and a title finish. So there are two tags in here. Here there's only one tag, the meta tag. Now, but there are some attributes inside the tag, and one of the attributes of this tag is the name attribute. So the name of this the name attribute of the meta tag gives information about the name of the metadata. So this is description. So the name is description, and the content is the actual description of your website. So I can say information about Julian. So that's basically your description. And I'm going to save this. And this information is actually used by the search engines like Google. Google picks up your site and indexes it inside their database, and they look at this information. This information is actually important for Google, and actually for the ranking of your web page. You have to make sure you have a good description, and make sure you have a description for your website so that Google can pick it up. And where you would see the description, so here if I save this and I refresh it, you don't actually see the description here, but you can see if you view the source code. You go to Tools and Web Developer here, and if I look at the page source, it actually opens up another page. You can actually see the HTML code here. So page source is the page code, and you can see the name here, and where this information about Julian, this content here, where you would actually see it would be, let's say, now let's say I do a search for Julian, and go up here, Julian. Now let's say I do a search for Julian, and just go, or even Julian Assange, I guess, and I do a search, and here is where you're so you see the title that will correspond to the title that we have here. So here is the title here that will appear here in their web search results, and the description we talked about, the description here would appear. This would be the description right here. So Google uses that description information in their search results. So it is important to have that information, even though it's not appearing on the web page. Like we don't see this description anywhere on the web page. Same with the title, but the title and the description is quite important. And you'll also see some other metadata. Remember, metadata is information about the data or information about your content. Something like meta name is equal to author, and content is equal to Julian Sriant, and that is me, the author. Okay, so that metadata is essentially used by the search engines. So everything inside the head, once again, is not visible on your web page, and everything inside the body is visible on your web page. So I'm going to focus now on some other tags, HTML tags or HTML code that we use inside the body, stuff that's visible. Now, one of the more popular tags is the header tag, and it looks something like this, h1, h1, and that's a header tag, and that's usually, you know, the title of something inside on your page. So let's call this one, this is my header, and if I save that, file save, and go down and refresh my page here, you can see this is my header. It appears on my page. Now I can also, the H1 actually refers to the size, so you can choose anywhere from H1 to H6, so I could change this to H6 and file save, go down and refresh, and you'll notice how the header is much smaller. I'm going to go back to my H1 tag and I'm going to save it. So you can have different header sizes, as you can see, and refresh, and this is my header. Another tag you come across quite often is the paragraph tag, and it has an opening and a closing tag just like the header tag, and I can type something in here. This is my first paragraph, in a file, save, and here we go. And we can have another paragraph. I'll put another paragraph in there. I'm just going to copy this one, and this is my second paragraph. Save that, and there's another tag that's used quite often, and that is the link tag. Now, the link tag is sometimes called the anchor tag because it uses the letter A, and it anchors to other websites, just like a boat anchors. A boat will anchor to the bottom of the ocean. The anchor will, or the link will anchor to another website. So the anchor tags look like this, and every anchor tag needs to have an attribute called the href, which stands for hypertext reference, which is essentially the website that you're linking to. So if I'm linking to my own personal website, jts.name, I'm linking to that website, and what you put in between the tags here, so this is the attribute of the tag, and what I put in between the two tags, this is the start tag and the finish tag, is what my link will look like to the user. The user will not see this here, they will only see what's in between the tag here. So this is my second paragraph. In this paragraph, you will find a, and in between the tags here I'm going to put link to my website, and this is in between the A tags, and I'm going to save that, save, and refresh here. And you can see this is my header, this is my first paragraph, this is my second paragraph. In this paragraph you will find a link to my website, and when I click on this link I will actually go to this particular address, and which is an attribute of the H anchor tag. Now if I actually click on here, it'll take me to my website, jts.name. I'm going to go back into my original site here. Okay, so a link is a tag that you will commonly find in within HTML code. And other tags you will find are the image tag. That's quite common as well, as you see a lot of images. So everything that you see on a web page basically is inside of these particular tags, whether it's a paragraph or a header or link. Now, just to refresh this HTML coding lesson, notice how everything inside here is in between the HTML tags. So that's our HTML page. And then everything inside my body here, everything inside the body is what is visible on the page here. Now everything that's inside the head tag is not visible on the page here, but this is useful information for the search engines like Google. And the title here actually appears, it is visible, but on the tab of the page here. And the title and the description will show up in search results as well. So this information is used by the Google robots that go around and they kind of index or put websites into their database. So this information is, although it's not visible, is quite important. And some of the tags that are quite common that you find inside the body of an HTML page are the header, which is for titles usually, and paragraphs and links, and also images, which we haven't looked at quite yet. Okay, and if I save that and I just go and I refresh one more time, and if you go to the tools here, and if you view the source code, and you should be able to do this in every single browser, you can actually see the code that you've created here. Now you can open up any web page and see the code. So this is all the code, and it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. But if you go to a site like this Google right here, or let's go to my website, www.jts.name, and if you go to view the source code, and in Google you have to go to Tools and View Source, and you can see how the code is a little bit more complicated. You can see here. But everything is essentially in between some sort of tag of some kind, or as a part of some sort of HTML tag. And let's see if we can find an image tag here before. Okay, and here you can see an example of an image tag, and here the source attribute, that's the source of the image, where the image is located itself, and the alt attribute of the image tag is an alternative. If the image is not found, this will be displayed instead. And here you got the height and the width of the image as well. So these are all attributes of the image tag. The image tag is also a single tag. It's not in pairs like we have with the title or with the paragraph. The paragraph has an opening and start tag. The image only has one tag, and it's closed like this. Okay, and if you'll notice here, that image is actually inside of a link. So you can see the closing, the start, and the closing tag. Let's go back to our page here quickly and open up Firefox. And that's it for HTML for now.